Hello, my beautiful friends. So I'm doing my video at night as opposed to the morning. I had a busy, busy weekend. I playing bagpipes. Wild Mountain Cash is a local Celtic rock band, and this was their first performance here in Pennsylvania. They're originally from Colorado, so they invited us to play a few tunes with them, which was awesome. I've never played with a rock band in that way before. I played before a tune started, and then after a tune, or in between a tune, but never along with them. So it was really interesting to have to like get my pipes. I have traditional Highland pipes, trying to get them to work with the band. When you hear AC/DC and stuff like that, they're using electronic bagpipes, which are very different. So that was Saturday, and then Sunday, my hometown of Bethlehem was voted #1 Main Street in the United States. And it's the Christmas city. It's Bethlehem, founded by the Moravians. It's a beautiful place if you've never been there. I'll put some links to all these things below, and it was just really fun. A bunch of us got together and made an ad hoc pipe band, and we had a little parade. It was just us. We were the parade, and we were sponsored by the Red Stag and Whiskey Bar, McCarthy's Red Stag and Whiskey Bar, and Donegal Square, and our good friends. There, Neville Gardner and his wife. So it was an amazing weekend. So I was away from YouTube. I was away from social media, except to post stuff from the events, and and so I didn't get a whole lot of time to journal. I mean, I did my gratitude journal every day, but I didn't get to watch my different things. So today I heard the news that Brian Koberger took a plea deal, and said that he would, plead guilty for murdering those four innocent kids out in the West. And Brian Koberger is from Pennsylvania, not too far from where I live. I've been following the story. My heart absolutely, absolutely breaks for those families of those children. I mean, I know they're college students and they're adults, but, my kids are their age, so they're kids. And my heart just absolutely breaks for them. I don't know if they had a choice in the matter. He agreed to 4 consecutive life sentences if he didn't get the death penalty. And I don't know. I have to say, three hots and a cot, for a guy to write his memoirs, to celebrate that he, obsessed over and loved serial killers, and that, and to be like his heroes who are these, Ted Bundy and all these horrible people, you know, like it doesn't feel like justice to me, right? And I'm not making a comment on the death penalty one way or the other. I think there's a lot of reasons why you wouldn't want to put the families through the years and years and years and years of appeals that come with a death penalty sentence, and the kids that because there were other victims in the house, to have to put them through. So maybe this is the best grace for all of them, but it just doesn't feel like justice. And I was like struggling with that. So I hit my journal and I'm writing and I'm like mad. And, I started my career in a prison. I taught in a prison, and I believe in rehabilitation, and I believe that people get a second chance. I do believe that we can, we can do some good with people who make bad choices. But this was definitely this is a predator who preyed upon these innocent victims. And it's just unsettling. But I have to think that God has a better plan. That I am not the arbiter of truth and judgment, right? And I have to leave all that to God, at his feet, her feet, their feet, right? I just have to leave it there, and hope that in the bigger picture that I cannot see, that justice is being done. So I thought I would pull a rune because I'm feeling very uneasy, and so I'm gonna pick a rune about how I should feel about this, and then share it with you, and then we go journal. And I hope this helps you through it too. It's so much happened today, like these fires that were started by this person so that he could slaughter a bunch of first responders. Like, just like, I cannot wrap my head around the darkness. And I'm over here holding my little candle, like, let's have light and love. Let's be full of light and love. And it makes me angry that there's people that are so full of hatred and, are just, we all have light in us, all of us. and it's hard to see light in people that behave that way. And so spirit, spirit guides, what should I focus on? I have all my stones out. When should I think about? Rado, which is this stone, which means journey and travel. And I'm going to pause for a minute and just think about what this might mean, because I'm not sure what it means, but I'm going to think about it. I'll be right back. So when I was thinking about Rado, it does mean journey. Those are its typical meanings. But one meaning that I often overlook and don't think about is the meaning of Rado signifying order and right action, right? So that like divine and natural laws, right? And the way that like as a YouTuber, I provide guidance through rune stone reading, but also how I interpret the stones and how I accept guidance to myself, right? So I'm thinking, and the journey that you take throughout your life in sort of those interpretations, right? So, there would have been a time where I would have been just lit on fire, angry about this, you know, what I would perceive as, Koberger getting off with, committing these murders and nothing happening to him. But he is going to be serving 4 life sentences without parole. And thinking about the families that have to go through this, right? So, my sense of justice lies with the families, right? With the people that these murders impacted, which includes, of course, the victims, but also his family, right? So, his parents didn't ask him to do this, and his sisters, they're local, and I remember when this all broke out, when it happened, they're victims too, right? They are victims too, and so, this guy has created all this destruction and carnage in his path, and everybody else is suffering for it. And it just doesn't seem fair that he's going to get 3 hot meals a day and a bed to sleep in and a toilet and, time in the law library. And, it just doesn't seem fair that, a person who is socially awkward and a bookworm is going to get to spend all the rest of his days reading books and being alone, which is what he would want to do, right? It just doesn't seem fair. It doesn't sit right to me, right? But what is justice for the family, right? What is justice for the family? And the justice for the family is not having to relive this awful crime every single day of their lives. And so, they would have had to go through a lengthy trial, calling witnesses, from all over, from here in Pennsylvania out in the West. It would be, let's say he was convicted and then he was given the death penalty. Let's say that happened. Well, there would be years and years and years of appeals. And you can see they were preparing for that, right? His defense was preparing for that, because a lot of these silly motions, people are like, well, they're forever filing silly motions and asking for delays, but that's all to put it on record so that when they go to file appeals, they have something to hang those appeals on, right? So, like law in 3 seconds, right? All that nonsense is just about the appeal process. It's not even really about what's going on now. So this eliminates the family from having to continue to deal with this. And that is justice, right? It is justice to let them heal and move on. And yeah, he's going to get to live, and our taxpayer money is going to fund his life. But it gives them a sense of freedom, and it gives them the chance to move on, to know for sure that he is the one who did it, to know for sure that he is out of, he can't do this to anybody else, and that they don't have to relive it every day. And so I think, Rado is all about reflecting in the journey that we take spiritually, the journey that we take toward wisdom. And, it's heartbreaking. My heart breaks for those families. It certainly breaks for those families. I got to celebrate my hometown, playing bagpipes and marching up and down, Main Street. I grew up there. I was born there. My husband was born there. Our children were born there. I learned to drive there. I saw my first concert, Don McLean, at Music Fest, the first one there. My mother is buried there. My grandparents are buried there. My brother is buried there. And one day my boys will carry me home, and I'll be buried there. And even though I've selected a small mountain town as my hometown now, a little part of Bethlehem holds my heart. And I got to experience a lot of really great things in my hometown, and I get to go back to it. These four kids, they don't. They don't get to go back home, and their family doesn't get to welcome them, and that's heartbreaking. The other victims in the house, they have to live with this forever. That survivor's guilt. They have to live with this forever. So maybe it is mercy and grace that they can finally move on with their lives, knowing who did it, and letting him rot, and if he is allowed to write books, every single cent should go to them. He shouldn't get to keep any of it. And just hoping that there's a bigger, better plan, and just working through those thoughts when you have them, right? So I am wishing you all the very best in light and love. Be well. Take care.